Okay, here we are on our record attempt. Weaving the tyres, generating heat, cycling myself up, on towards the lap. Over the crest we go, past the old ticket booth, into the first left. Bit of understeer here. Tyres still need a bit of more heat. Approaching the Hatzenbach. Flat out in third, very bumpy, up to fourth. Really bumpy under braking here. You can feel the car bumping up and down through this right left. I'd go to third but then decided to go to second because it was better. Still not a lot of heat in the tyres. Easily out braking oneself here. Car gets a little bit sideways. Steep downhill onto the camber. Accelerating hard now. Approaching the bridge. Turning on the lights just in case someone's in front of me. Flip flats, 140 miles an hour. Car gets light. Down a gear. Back on the power. Try to build up as much speed as we can. We're going to be approaching Schwedenkreuz. Steep downhill. Really nice view here. Car starts to bottom out. Over the lower crest. 160. Down one. Fifth. Really bumpy. And then it slows down all the way down to second gear. Accelerating hard, trying to get good speed. Clip the curb there a little bit too much. Into the foxhole. Up to sixth gear. 161 miles an hour. Car really compresses. The car feels like it's going to crash into the right. Down two gears. Through the left. Car's really loose. Down to third. Through the right. Into the really slow Adenauer forced. Just being really patient here. Now accelerating hard, up the gears. Again, just a moment of relaxation here before we get to Mexico. A real big bump on the right here. Down a gear, and then down one more. Really easily out-braking oneself here. Accelerating hard. Pallen hard, second gear, the only part with a new surface. Car gets a little bit loose. Big bump car understeers, trying to maintain speed. Not a lot of rear wing as you can see. Car gets very oversteery into the slowest corner of the track, 50 miles an hour. Second gear, feels like you're walking. Accelerating hard again. Up the gears, approaching the Adenauer bridge, the lowest point of the track. Down to second. Up to third, down to second again as we go up the hill. Lots of bumps here. Approaching really fast corner here. Very bumpy under braking. Bag there. Actually braked a little bit too early here. Enter second. Trying to gain as much speed now because we're going uphill, through the valley. Very, very long stretch here. All flat out. As you'll notice, I'm wearing jeans and a fleece. It is at the end of the day a road car, and here we are going around on road tyres, done up Durenzas, very soft spring setup as well, just to handle all the bumps. As little drag as possible, so we've got the rear wing as low as possible. I am maintaining fifth gear here. We're approaching this left-hander here at 150 miles an hour. I have a bit of a confidence lift, back on the throttle. I should have taken this next right flat out, but again, a little bit of confidence lift. Approaching the last right towards the carousel. Accelerating hard. Here you kind of aim for the middle tree in the distance. Down to second. Car gets a little bit airborne. Really, really bumpy through here. SRH not really made for that. Accelerating hard again. Up the gears. My favourite part of the track. A real fast left-hander. Really demanding. Car drifts out. Down to third. Approaching Oenat, the highest point of the track. Turning in early here, staying in the same gear. Keeping the car nice and smooth. Approaching Wipperman. Here we don't use the curves in this car because it's just too bumpy. Normal cars you'd kill these curves. A lot of hard work here. Up the hill. Down the hill. into second, approaching Brunchen. Spectator point, you can see them on the left hand side, looking and watching the lap. Using as much of the road as possible. Back down to second. Again, using all the width of the track. Approaching Plansgarten. We'll be doing 135 miles an hour over the crest. The car gets slightly airborne. Here the splitter. A lot of blind sections here. 150, fifth gear, car gets light. Again, everything's blind here. You're hoping that you're on the right line. Again, not using the curves. Really bumpy. Down to third for this fast right-hander. Second gear. Approaching the mini carousel. Oh, there's a Mercedes in front of me. Is he going to block me? Accelerating hard. Looks like he could. Dotting a hone coming up. He doesn't really block me. I wave at him, thank him, and down the straight we go. Waiting for the last minute before I change up, tightening my belts. Very long straight here, very bumpy. So we've got very long gear ratios to try and get as much speed as we can, only just pulling sixth halfway down the straight. Actually goes uphill now, you can see the cars bouncing. On the right hand side is the new ticket booth. Approaching Tiergarten, flat out in sixth. Track falls downhill. Just trying to carry as much speed as we can through here. Car gets a little bit light on the rear, down the gears. Approaching the end of the lap. Keeping it all nice and tidy. Nearly there, through the last right. Using as much of the road as possible. Could this be it? Over the start finish, and yes, a new lap record.